Using a rate law. So the rate law is of the general formula that rate equals K, the rate constant, and then that'll be multiplied by the concentration of each reactant taking place in the reaction raised to the power of the order of reaction in terms of that reactant. So for reaction order, it is either going to be 0, 1, or 2 that we are going to find with respect to an individual reactant. So that'll be what the power of the concentration is in the rate law. If you don't see a power, then that is a first order reaction because something raised to the power of 1 is just that thing. Okay, so if we're asked for what the reaction order is in nitrogen monoxide, we're looking at this power here in the rate equation. So that is telling us it's a second order reaction in terms of the relationship between the concentration of nitrogen monoxide and the rate. Similarly, the reaction order in O2, if we don't see a coefficient there, that means the reaction order is 1. So it's first order with respect to oxygen. So what that means in real terms is that there is a direct proportionality between the rate and the concentration of O2. So if you double the concentration of O2, you double the rate proportionately, right? Because K, the reaction constant, the rate constant is going to stay constant throughout. If you have something to the power of 2, a second order reactant with respect to that particular reactant, then what that means is that relationship is squared. So whatever you do to the concentration of that reactant is going to change the rate by a factor of that integer squared, right? So whatever that is. Okay, so let's have a look then for the overall reaction order. The overall reaction order will be the sum of the reaction order with respect to each individual reactant. So in this case, we've got a second order reaction in nitrogen monoxide and a first order reaction in oxygen. Therefore, second order plus first order gives us a third order reaction overall. Okay, so we've been given some facts at a certain concentration of nitrogen monoxide and oxygen. The initial rate is 0.240 molarity per second. And then we are asked if the initial rate of reaction would change if the concentration of nitrogen monoxide were half. So we have to look at the type of relationship between the concentration of nitrogen monoxide and the rate. And we can see for nitrogen monoxide, it is second order. So NO is second order, which means that whatever happens to the concentration of nitrogen monoxide, that rate is going to change by that factor squared. Okay, so the rate will change by whatever that, let's call it n. Okay, so if concentration changed by factor n, then the rate will change by n to the power of 2. N squared. So what have we been asked for? We have been asked for if the concentration of nitrogen monoxide were halved. So that means 1/2 to the power of 2 will give us a factor of a quarter in this case. So our initial rate was 0.240, and that is molarity per second. We're just going to multiply that by a quarter to find out what the rate would be if the concentration of nitrogen monoxide was halved. So a quarter of that would be, bum, 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 bum. I could probably do it in my head, not on camera. That's not fair. So that would be 0.06. 0.06 molarity per second. Okay, and then the last part of this question, the rate of the reaction is measured to be 7 times 10 to the 4 molarity per second, with the given concentration of nitrogen monoxide, 1.8 molarity, and oxygen equals 1.3 molarity. Calculate the value of the rate constant. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our rate equation, our rate law, rearrange and solve for K. So you can do this if you have measured the rate at any given point in time. If you know the concentration of each of those reactants, you can rearrange and solve for the rate constant K, which, as the name implies, is going to be constant over the course of the reaction. So I'm going to arrange, so K is the subject, so K will be rate over the concentration of nitrogen monoxide squared. So be careful with that, because obviously this is going to change depending on what the actual rate law is. So word of caution, the units for K are variable depending on how many reactants you have and what their order of reaction is, okay? So we've got to be careful with the units. So the rate was 7.0 times 10 to the power of 4 molarity per second. And we're going to divide that by the concentration of nitrogen monoxide squared. So that's 1.8 molarity squared. Okay. So that's molarity times molarity. Okay. And then times the concentration of O2, which was 1.3 molarity. So in terms of units, what is going to happen here, don't even worry about the numbers yet. We've got molarity divided by molarity squared times molarity. So molarity over molarity cubed. Okay, so these guys are going to cancel out, and that will give me 1 over molarity squared, or molarity to the minus 2, and we're already per second, so we can see actually the units Alex has given us is consistent with what we're expecting, because we're going to expect molarity to the minus 2, second to the minus 1. And then I guess we should go ahead and chuck those numbers in, and I get 1.7 times 10 to the power of 4 per molarity squared per second. Okay, so that is just going to be a plug and chug. You do have to be very careful of your units for K, especially if you've got like a factor of 2 in the rate law, etc. All right, so hopefully that is helpful for you.